In a city that can yield so much power, there are so many that are vulnerable and poor.
The majority of our department was laid off. It's kind of a desperate situation.
I was not able to pay off the loans I had taken out to finance my education. I later became unemployed and during an especially difficult time was homeless in DC for 6 months.
I don't think I was going to have to pay thousands of dollars of debt that wasn't mine, and it was stress on me and my family members.
But this is where Tzedek DC comes in.
We represent low-income DC residents every week in the DC Superior Court, and our goal is to empower the client community to get information pushed out and increase people's access to the system.
A DC man recently tested positive for the coronavirus.
As the coronavirus explodes in numbers across America. The disparity in cases of COVID-19 in America.
And Tzedek DC's work is now more urgent than ever. The COVID-19 pandemic is a financial crisis as much as it is a public health one.
We've seen over just the last 2 months the brutal impact that the pandemic is having, with, again, disproportionate impact, as Paula mentioned, on our residents with lower incomes, and disproportionate impact specifically on our neighbors of color and immigrant families in our community. Tzedek DC clients experiencing debt problems have been calling us to say they lost their jobs in the restaurant or another service industry. We see that unemployment in the district and across the region and country has massively spiked. Half of the jobs in our country are at risk. And meanwhile, our neighbors' bills are piling up.
Tzedek DC held multiple community events leading up to COVID-19 about getting access to the information about new laws and new rights. With their partners, there has been an effort to make that available virtually.
Tzedek DC comes along specifically in relation to an area of tremendous need about debt collection, and not only helping people one by one, but also finding the ways in which laws need to be changed so that people are not victimized in the same way going forward.
What Ariel is doing at his not-for-profit is extraordinary. I think his last point is really powerful. DC leads the country in fines. These fines are disproportionately heaped on our most vulnerable residents. That's one area that we can change, and we have the power to change literally tomorrow, and we should do so.
Tzedek is this beautiful word from the Torah, the Old Testament, and the book of Deuteronomy. And the phrase goes, Tzedek, Tzedek tirdof. Justice, justice, shall you, and that means all of us, shall you pursue.
When you walk into court, you'll have the people that are there being sued by these companies, these creditors. It's this moment where you see them walk in and they're essentially by themselves and not really sure what to do. And Tzedek, kind of like, they're like beacons in darkness, you know? It's like you see them and you realize that these are people that can help you.
I want to thank Tzedek DC for supporting low-income residents in the district. Their fight for justice for the most vulnerable in our city is noteworthy. To amend the great Martin Luther King's quote, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward Tzedek."
There are people who have never had someone advocate for them, and that's what I think I'm so proud of this partnership that we have with Tzedek is it's giving us the opportunity to take on that role in a meaningful way for our neighbors in the District of Columbia.
Through Tzedek, we make a real difference in people's lives.
With your help, Tzedek DC will be able to hire additional staff to help more people in need, recruit and support more volunteers, and expand our capacity to make systemic change.
This resulted in the debt holder agreeing that my monthly payment could be reduced. I can now actually pay my monthly debt in a way I can afford, and I continue to make the monthly payments on time and in accordance with my budget.
I just felt confident that regardless of what happened, I had people on my side who actually cared about me and my well-being. Great news, we got the case dismissed. And I was like, this is literally the best thing I've heard in about 5 years.
I just thank God for allowing me to be here at Tzedek and to have support.